All right, welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to do a quick update on VRA. We're just going to walk through a few chart patterns, some price predictions, and then get into some key levels as well. Want to make this one pretty quick and to the point, so let's dive right in. First of all, I want to start from a weekly candle perspective. I think when we have downturn moments like this, in the middle of a bull run, a lot of times it's hard to keep a more macro perspective. So I kind of wanted to start with the weekly candle right now. So looking on the weekly candle chart, we kind of recently had this pullback where we thought we were going to maybe go a little bit higher. We got stopped up here, around 8.5 cents or so. And then since then, we've dropped, 30% or so, give or take a few percent. And now we're kind of hoping to continue that trend right now. And my argument would be that this is more so par for the course. If you look back here when we were, first kind of initiating this continuation pattern, we had 4 out of 5 candles go green on the weekly, then 3 red candles on the weekly. And then we saw the same exact thing happen more recently right here, where 4 out of the 5 weeklies are green, and now we're forming 3 red candles on the daily. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point here we bounce back. I don't think there's any need for panic. As you can see, this kind of bullish continuation pattern is still intact. Right now, we're trying to see whether or not we bounce off that previous all-time high at about 5.5 cents. That's kind of the key level that folks are looking at right now, I would say, that 5.5 cent level, just because that's our previous all-time high. And in terms of being able to sit on top of that and then get some traction more so to the upside, it's going to be critical to hold that level to the long term. So that's kind of the more macro view on VRA and what I'm seeing. And now I kind of want to break it down and get a little bit more into a granular perspective. So let's bring up the daily candle and get into some critical levels. So first of all, we had this kind of major run up. 50-day crosses the 100 and 200-day moving averages. We have a falling wedge, and then that essentially parabolic move to the upside. But looking at this a little bit deeper, right now we are battling this 6.8 cent fib level. As you can see, we've gotten rejected here now 4 days in a row, and specifically the last 2 days here. So right now we're looking to hopefully meet that and then exceed that here in the next couple of days. So 6.8 cents is a really, really critical level right now. And as you can see, how we got there was getting rejected at that 8.8 cent key fib level, coming down, trying to sit on top of this 7.5 cent level. It fails. We then try to stay above this 6.8 cent level by getting above this 7.5 cent level. And you can see we get rejected 4 days in a row. We got rejected 4 days in a row here. And now the hope is that we don't have to go back down to our previous all-time high of 5.5 cents. Obviously this can happen. I think to the downside, our, price target to the downside, if this does happen, would be that key level of 5.5 cents. So if we do continue to go to the downside and cannot break this key level of 6.8 cents in the near future, we may see 5.5 cents again. Now, I don't think necessarily that's going to happen. So let's look at a few key levels to the upside. So first of all, if we are able to sit on that 6.8 cent level, we have to get back up to this 7.5 cent level. And then once we break that, we're looking at 8 and 8.5 cents. And so I think that it's likely, hopefully in the next few days to a week, we find some support here. We play around here, maybe get some resistance for a little bit here, sit back on top of this and kind of continue this trend as we go. That's kind of the ideal scenario if it played out in the next few weeks. But once that plays out, we're really, really looking for this 8.8 cent target level right here. That's going to be kind of the next really, really important level in terms of understanding whether or not we're really going to fly parabolically. So, obviously a lot of information coming out and news coming out about VRA in Q4, a lot of expected listings, particularly Binance is expected. And then obviously also their proof of view patents are being more so put into actual use cases. So it's going to be exciting to see whether a lot of this actually plays out how it's expected. But in terms of short-term price predictions, we're probably looking at, hopefully a return to 7.5 cents over the next week or so. If we can't get to that point, I think there's a chance that we sit around 6.8 cents. And obviously if we get rejected here continuously over these next few days, which is going to be key to watch, we might go back to 5.5 cents. But in terms of upside, short-term price predictions, I think if we're able to get up here, sit on 7.5, and then meet that 8.8 cent level and exceed that right here, I think then we may be looking at something between 9 and 10 cents. So I'm hoping to be playing between here within the next few weeks. And I think that's going to be kind of short term, the key levels we're going to be looking at. And obviously, I talk about this all the time. We talk about VRA a lot on this channel. I'm hodling for the long term. I talk about how if we replicated, let's see if I can bring it up here. If we replicated our past growth back here, if you've watched this channel, you've heard me say this, we'd be looking at, something between 15 and 25 cents for the long term. So for this run, that's kind of what I have my eyes on. A lot of people are talking about $1. A lot needs to go right for that to happen. And you'll notice that the top of this fib extension is essentially that price range. So, I think our, long term, high end, I think we get just above this range at 25 cents. But I think somewhere between these three fib levels will be realistic for the bull run. And then obviously it could get explosive if a lot of these listings go smoothly and if the proof of view patents really play out how we expect. So that's what I'm seeing right now, both on the weekly chart and the daily chart, and some short-term and long-term price predictions. Again, key levels to watch are the 6.8 cent level. That's what we're battling right now. Then we want to watch the 7.5 cent level. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And once we get up there, really the next key level is going to be this 8.8 cent level. That was our previous all-time high. And so once we break above that, we're going to play between 9.3 cents and 10 cents. And so I think short term, we really, really want to look for 10 cents as our target here in the next few weeks to a month, hopefully. And then obviously, if this growth continues, hopefully a lot of that will be accelerated by the news coming out about VRA in Q4. So that is everything I have for you guys today. If you got some value out of that, please drop a like. It's always appreciated. And let me know in the comments if there are some other projects you'd like me to cover. But that's it for today, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.